Hi there, and welcome to my monthly update of my two plots, plot 15 and plot 16, where I'll show you the jobs that I've done over the last month, the crops that will be available in this month, and my jobs that I need to do this month too. It's the middle of April and I'm going to do some seed stowing today. As you can see, I've laid all my seeds out. I'm in the greenhouse and there's all the trays for loading and my compost down here, and I'll do the trays there and then we'll put them in the water here to allow the water to soak up through the compost, and then we can lay them all out. Right, let's get going. So as you can see, I've filled the seed tray with compost, and then I use a similar seed tray to press the compost down like this, and then obviously just use a little dibber, use a pencil and make a hole, and this is for radish seeds. Radish seeds traditionally go outside, but last year I grew some in the greenhouse to get some early ones and it worked quite well. Obviously the extra heat that's in the greenhouse just brings them along quite nicely, so that's what I'm going to do this year as well. So just keep on dibbing these. And then we'll pop the seeds one into each little hole. Right, that's all those done, and just smooth those over. And I'll fill the water tray up. I like to water my seeds from the bottom initially, gives the compost a good soak in. So use this tray. Right, that's good. And we just plonk those in there, and when the top of the compost gets wet, then we know that it's all soaked through. Right, we'll leave those to do and get on and do some more. Right, that's the last tray. Salsify, put those in to soak. I'll have a little bit of a clear up and I'll show you around. So the greenhouse is looking a little bit fuller now, as you can see. Done quite well. So in addition to the radish that I grow indoors rather than outside, so we get an early crop, I've also put in some spring onions here. So there's 40 of those. What else we got here? So we've got some tomatoes here, and some cabbage, Savoy, dahlias. So Amir, I'm copying you with some dahlias this year, so that's good. I've also grown some kohlrabi this year. I was given some plants last year, but I'm growing it myself, and some kale as well, 16 plants of kale. Over here we've got some cauliflower in these two trays here, and I always grow my beetroot in sixes, and then that gives me a good succession, so I put in 6 beetroot there. We've got some summer cabbage, some golden acre, and some winter cabbage, which is tundra. Started putting my French beans in here, so I've got 2 trays of those. Salsify here, and in the back I'm growing celery for the first time, so I'm giving that a go, so that's there. Yes, that's the final bed rotavated. My little rotavator has done a really good job over the last couple of weeks. As you can see, I've also done this bed here and put my second early potatoes in there, so that's good. And the final bed down here on plot 15 I've also rotavated, and if you remember in my last video I had a nursery bed full of broad beans, And as you can see, I've planted them all out into this bed here, and put up my wigwam for my run of beans. Right, I'll take you on to the main plot and show you what I've been doing last month. So I've rotavated all the beds that I needed to, and in this bed here, after rotavating it, I've put in 3 rows of second earlies. And down here I've also rotavated the 3 beds down here, as you can see, and put some more second earlies in there. And I've been sowing lots and lots of seeds. There we go, they're all in the greenhouse. As you can see, some sweet corn, some dahlias. What else we got down here? Some kohlrabi, cucumbers, squashes. Cauliflowers are doing pretty well. Lots more sweet corn. We're going to have lots of sweet corn this year. And I've also noticed in here I've grown some celery. I don't know if you can actually see it there. Some sunflowers and some more sweet corn up there. I've also made this extra bench up here because I ran out of space, and up here you can see my early radish and spring onions are doing really well, so that'll give me an early crop. Right, so I'm really pleased with those. Just need to keep them watered. What else have we been up to? Let's go to the fruit cage. As you can see, the gooseberry that I planted last autumn survived the winter. It's all nice and green and lush, so that's good. But the major difference in the fruit cage is that I've managed to plant all my strawberries out. This bed here has quite a few, and over there in the other bed there's 7. But they're doing quite well, as you can see. Looking quite healthy, leaves are up. Put some grow more around them, just to encourage them to grow. But yeah, they're doing really well. So that's about all with regard to my jobs that I've done over the last month. So what have I been cropping? I've dug up the last leeks and cabbage, so we've got those. The early rhubarb has done really well. We've had quite a lot of that, and we'll be starting cropping this rhubarb as well shortly. But the main thing this month is the asparagus. As you can see, it's doing pretty well. Nice and large. We've got quite a lot down there, so that'll keep us going until June, I guess. Otherwise there isn't any crops. But saying that, my first earlies that I planted on here in the last video, they're all coming up, so that's pretty good. Obviously they won't be ready for a while. The best way to show this, but the onions are doing pretty well too, and we're picking up on this one as well. Crops to come, but not ready quite yet. And the garlic are doing pretty well as well. The main job for this month will be to get the net on top of the fruit cage and add some more supports. And down here in the greenhouse, obviously look after all these little seedlings, keep them watered and growing well. We'll have another sowing of early radish and spring onions, some lettuce. Maybe the sweet corn will get planted out after being hardened off, and also the brassicas maybe as well. We'll just have to see how they go. Depends on how quickly they grow and obviously how warm it is outside. And of course there's always weeding. Out here I've noticed that on the apple tree the blossom is coming out. It's looking very pretty, and I can see that some of it is a bit more advanced than others. And over here on the pear, so if you can see that, but the fruit is coming along nicely. In fact, there is quite a lot of pears on this bush. I don't know if I'll need to thin it at all. The other thing is to finish off sorting out plot 15, the bottom bit of it. The tulips weren't very good this year, so I need to dig those out and put in some new ones. Obviously that'll be the autumn I put those in, and the same with the daffodils. So I think we can completely rip this bed up and start again. Keep some of these plants here. These are salsify, but I'm just growing these for flowers. And then I need to get over here and sort out the flowers. There's some forget-me-nots down there as well from the weeds, and give this bed here a good clear out. Now that I've finished rotavating all the beds and put out these broad beans and planted my potatoes, it really does feel like the season has started. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting, and I'll see you soon.